Hey guys, how's it going? I was going to share with you today about our experience at Art of Animation.
Now, rush for
That's the dolphin right there. All right, so we went on another Disney trip and we stayed at Art of Animation. I was very pleasantly surprised with this hotel. It kind of took me by surprise like Animal Kingdom Lodge did. Art of Animation is considered a economy hotel. I don't know that I fully agree with that because it is not necessarily an economy price, at least not normally. I felt like we got a really good deal with it. We were annual pass holders and we're able to get the annual pass holder discount. And then right now they just have a lot of good discounts going on anyway. So we got a fair price, I feel like, for the room. I do not feel like we overpaid at all for this room. I feel like it was a good price for it. But it is quite a bit more than what you would pay if you're booking a room at an All-Star or Pop Century. So, but it is the same category as those hotels because it has the same amenities. There's no like reservation restaurant and there's no water slides. You just have a more basic pool and like the food court style eating, which is fine, but that's kind of what classifies them as an economy. When you move up to a moderate, you get more amenities. So that's why it kind of falls in the economy side. Just FYI. All right, so again, like I said, we were pleasantly surprised with this hotel. I was really hesitant about staying here because it was economy. And not that there's anything wrong with the economies. I have stayed at them in the past and they're fine and they're nice, but I like the moderate and the deluxe better, but I mean, who doesn't, right? You get what you pay for, you know, so obviously the nicer the hotel, usually the more you enjoy your stay. But this Art of Animation has family suites, which is the majority of their rooms are family suites. And they are basically kind of like a living dining area and then a master bedroom. So you get 2 full bathrooms and it sleeps 6. So in the first little area you walk in is like an eating area and there is a bed that folds down. The table becomes a bed. And then the living room, the couch becomes a bed. And then the master just already has a queen bed. So you get 3 beds, which sleeps 6, and that's perfect for our family as a family of 6. And then the 2 full bathrooms. You also have like a little kitchen area that has like a little mini fridge, a microwave, sink, coffee maker. So that is also nice. And the room is not huge, but it is plenty spacious. Like we fit fine and we were able to park the stroller in there and it fit fine. But the rooms really aren't huge. I would say they're maybe just a little bit bigger than Polynesian rooms, the villas. So I don't know if that helps kind of give comparisons. When you think of 3 beds, I guess you envision a bigger room, and it was sufficient room, but you don't have a lot of excess room, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was fine. Like we did not feel overly cramped, but I also did not feel like it's not like a 1-bedroom villa. Like I guess I was envisioning more 1-bedroom villa, and that is way bigger than a family suite at Art of Animation, which is fine. Just trying to give you kind of information. That's all. This just information. All right, moving on. So we decided to stay here for the family suite, and because the kids, I've kind of been trying to give them each an option to kind of pick maybe where they would like to stay and if I could stay there for them while we had our annual passes. So this is the resort that Wesley, my 3rd child, had kind of requested to stay at, and he wanted to stay in the Cars suite. So the kids loved the theming here. And I mean, my husband and me really enjoyed it too. The Cars area especially, of course we're big Cars, Lightning McQueen fans, so that helps. But it felt like you were kind of staying at Radiator Springs, and it was just such a fun theming. We really enjoyed getting out and walking around and seeing the different cars and just having fun with that. They also had this really cute pool that was like kind of like a half circle, and it had little cozy cones all around it. Super sweet theming. We did not actually play in the pool because it was too cold while we were there, but it did look like a really fun little pool. No water slide like I said earlier, but it was still a fun themed pool. The room was also fun themed with Lightning McQueen and the Cars theme, which the kids really liked. And unlike, if you watched my Grand Floridian review, you know how we felt I had said we felt a little uncomfortable with all of the kids there. We definitely did not feel that way at this resort. Many more families were there, lots of kids everywhere, and even like, you know, eating in the food court and stuff, we just felt a lot more comfortable with the kids. I mean, not that there aren't kids at Grand Floridian, but there definitely were not as many. When we stayed, there was a lot more older couples, and I felt like I needed to keep the kids quieter to be respectful, and I just didn't feel that way here. It was much more just kind of let the kids be kids. So that was nice. We actually liked that, having little kids and not feeling like we need to keep them quiet necessarily. The food court was really nice. I actually don't mind the food court setup. I think it works really well for a large family. And then of course with COVID, it's done differently. You mobile order and then you go pick up, but you can still sit inside there. So that's nice. There's lots of seating and you can do the refillable mugs. But I really like the food court set up for a family like our size because everyone can get something different. You know, you can get pizza or more like Italian, or they have such a nice wide variety. I feel like almost everyone can find something that they want and no one's really having to just kind of put up with it. And they definitely have a lot of good kid options. The price is also not too bad. So that is really nice. My son just pointed out that pizza is Italian, but I don't know. Moving on. Another great thing about Art of Animation is it is on the Skyliner. And this is something we absolutely loved about Caribbean Beach. We really enjoyed getting to use the Skyliner to get to 2 parks. And you can get to the same 2 parks from Art of Animation on the Skyliner. Now the Skyliner station takes you to the Caribbean Beach station, and then you have to get off and get on either the Epcot or Hollywood Studio monorail. But it's super easy, it's not bad. You get a little extra monorail ride there over a little lake. It's a pretty little ride, but it still made getting to those 2 parks super convenient and easy. And I really enjoyed that, and I'm really glad they did that for Art of Animation. And Pop Century actually uses the same station, so you can also access that from Pop Century. It's just a nice extra way to get to and from the park and not having to use the buses. I don't know if it's just this year or if this is just always the way it is with the buses. I don't remember the buses being like this 2 years ago, but this year it's been super hard to get on a bus. When we were waiting for the Magic Kingdom bus, we waited 45 minutes. And then Art of Animation is quite a ways for Magic Kingdom, so you still have to travel. Like, it was a good hour before we actually got to the Magic Kingdom. So that is the only time we rode the bus. From there on out, we just drove our car because it was way faster than waiting for a bus. But we did not drive our car if we could use the Skyliner because those actually get you there pretty quickly. And it's also enjoyable. It's just an enjoyable little ride. You only have 1 family per Skyliner bucket, so that's always nice. It's, you know, you don't feel like you're crowded or anything. It's enjoyable. All right, so downside to Art of Animation, I really don't have too many negative things to say about them. There were things in our hallway all the time. The whole week we were there was like a maid's cart and a bag of like linens, I think, that were, I don't know if they were clean or dirty, and there was also like a big bag of trash that was waiting to be taken out. I have no idea why they just sat there all week. I've never seen that at one of their resorts before. I mean, I've seen them there for a moment and then, you know, they get taken away again because obviously maids are in and out cleaning. But for some reason, this sat in the hallway the entire week we were there. And I mean, that wasn't a huge deal, except that I did have to maneuver the cart, move the cart around sometimes to be able to get our stroller past because the aisle was not wide enough for the maid's cart and the bag and our stroller to get through. So that was a little odd to me that I had to mess with the maid's stuff just to be able to get my stroller through, and like that was like constant. No matter what time of day, it just like where they were decided to keep it. I didn't say anything to them about it or complain because ultimately, I mean, it didn't really affect our stay. It was just something odd, and so I just thought I would mention it because that's something I haven't really noticed before at one of their hotels, or really any hotel. But so that was probably the biggest negative I had about the hotel. The only other negative I would say was the waiting for the bus. That was a little frustrating, and it wasn't just that day. We actually did getting a text saying that if you wanted to go to one of the parks that you use bus transportation, that you would be better off just driving your car, basically, because the buses were going to be slow. So they even admitted, hey, our buses are going to be slow, don't take them if you don't have to. So I don't know what the deal is with that. This was probably the worst experience we'd had with the buses. Usually they are not too bad. I mean, I had some days where they were slower, but for the most part, they're okay. But you know, since we drive and we had our car, that was not really that big a deal. We were like, that's fine, we'll just drive our car. It just makes it easier for everyone. So that wasn't really a huge negative either. It's kind of like whatever. And yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all that I can say that was on the negative side. Overall, we really liked it. I definitely think we will probably end up at Art of Animation again, especially since they have rooms that sleep all of us. We don't have a whole lot of options to pick from unless we want to go the whole booking 2-room thing or staying in 2-bedroom villas, which is nice, but the 2-bedroom villas is just not always financially feasible because they get kind of costly. So Art of Animation will probably be something we definitely will end up at again at some point. But that's about it, and I hopefully have been inserting some videos and pictures to show you guys, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it helpful. Be sure to link or comment below if you have any questions, and I will answer what I can. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to be watching out because I believe my next video on the resorts will probably be about which is our favorite resort. Will we buy DVC? And if we do buy DVC, what would our home resort be? And yeah, so be looking out for that video if you're interested. I will see you all soon. Bye.